Hello, good morning to our dear students of oral communication. I hope your day is fine, as so am I. We are to continue our lesson. We are done with the first one, which is about fundamentals of communication, and we also introduced the elements of communication. Okay, one of the elements that we discussed so far is the barriers, and we learned that barriers are the factors that blocks communication, or probably, yes, it disrupts communication itself. So for now, for this lesson, we are to provide you some classifications, or what are these types of barriers that disrupts the communication process. Okay, so we have the first one, the physiological barrier. So for this, it is the poor retention, lack of attention, discomfort due to illness, poor listening skills. Okay, so if you have gone to school, but still you are not feeling well, it really disrupts your understanding to the discussion of the teacher or the lesson itself. So make it sure that you are always feeling well. Okay. Um, yeah, it's actually part of the reminder, okay, to us for our situation right now. So don't get sick, be healthy all the time. Okay, next barrier is the environmental. Okay, this is the loud background noise, poor lighting, unhygienic surrounding, and bad odor or distance. Loud background noise. So sometimes, or most of the times, it happens in our online lesson. The noise of your neighborhood is louder than your teacher's voice, right? Yeah, so it disrupts communication. So you skip that very important word that your teacher said. It was the it was the exact time in which the other person from your neighborhood or from your environment shouted or talked something, and you missed it. You skipped it. Okay, so yeah, it already blocks the communication process. Poor lighting, so especially if you are on a face-to-face online interaction, so make it sure that you have turned on your lights properly. Okay, make sure you are on, so that you would also look good if you do have proper lighting, right? So I'm pretty sure for those who are fond of taking selfies, so they do make it sure that they do have proper lighting, or yeah, adjust filter. Okay, bad odor, okay, distance. So if the person that you're talking to is far from you, okay, so tendency is, yeah, there is really the disruption of the communication. Mhm. Okay, the third barrier is psychological. Okay, for this one, it is the misperception or the misunderstanding, okay, distrust and unhappy emotions, emotional disturbances, psychotic or neurotic illness, fear, anxiety, and confused thinking. So this happens especially if you are experiencing, probably there is a loss in the family member, or in this pandemic right now, a lot of people are um, overthinking, okay, worrying about a lot of things. So I've also received messages from my previous students, um, asking about, Miss, how are we going to have this class? Is online or the internet connection good enough for everyone? How about for those who don't have the connection? How are they going to take the class? I would suggest, Miss, that this school year should be freeze. Okay, so I was really surprised how they think at that early age, like 17 or 18. So they were already thinking about that. So, but on the other hand, I was also amazed that, oh, they're thinking about something like this. Okay, so they're adulting, they're growing up. Okay, so it's nice to know as well. Okay, so the next barrier is what we call social barrier. It is the difference in social norms, values, and behavior. Okay, the social taboos and different social strata. Your social economic status will also deprive you in understanding your classmates, or how they talk differs to how you express yourself, especially when you are in a private school and you are just in a public school. So mostly you observe private school students in the cafeteria, or in the what's this in the fast food restaurant. So they talk like, yes, they do somehow add English words to their conversation. Oh my gosh, this French fries is it's not really that nice, or it's not really that good. And there you are on the next table, listening to their conversation. So you'd say, over, exage, OA, okay. You would maybe not understand them because you are not, or you are on a different social background. So that is why. Okay, yeah, social barrier. Maybe, oh, of course, it also happens in a classroom. So that's why you do have a different set of friends, okay? Though you are in one class only. So this set of friends of yours, you get along with them because probably, oi, we are in the same society. So, so we're friends, okay? So it means a lot, okay? So what we have to do is just to understand and respect one another. It is in the same way for cultural barrier, okay? So whatever your religion is, whatever your culture is, I hope it would not disturb, or it would not affect your friendship, or your understanding towards the other belief of the person. Okay, I mean, you just have to express your opinion, but also have to respect the opinion of the other person. Okay, next barrier is what we call semantic. Okay, this has something to do with the language. Okay, faulty language translation, the individual differences in expression and perception. Okay, so it matters. So this is how I was taught, or this is how I was raised by my parents, or this is how my teacher in the previous school taught me. So this is what I believe in. Okay, no, this is something about this one. Okay, so yeah, it now starts the chaos. Yeah, it somehow, as we observed in our society today, so misunderstanding of a lot of things. Okay, so it is very important that we have to know what words that come from our mouth. Okay, so think before you open, think before you speak. Okay, something like that. Okay, so we're done discussing about the barriers of communication. Can you still recall what are those barriers to communication? Okay, the first one was psychological. We also talked about cultural. We also have environmental, okay, semantic, physiological. Did we mention all? I think I missed one. Okay, so it's up to you to recall them. Okay, so why do you think each barrier results to communication breakdown? When communication breakdown, when there is a breakdown of communication, what do you have to do as the speaker or as the receiver of the message? So how do you deal with the breakdown of communication? Would you just let it go, or will you try to remedy the situation? Okay, so yeah, this one. So in relation to my previous question, so what attitude should we practice towards others during communication breakdown? Should we freak out? Should we get angry? Should we get annoyed because he was not able to get what your message is? I understand that. Okay, so I know I sometimes do. If yeah, students didn't get the explanation of the teacher, they should ask, and then teacher would say, "Wala ka na minaw." Okay, so probably the time when the teacher was explaining, so there was the student experienced a barrier. Okay, so yeah, that is why. So sometimes it's really like annoying to the teacher if yeah, just a simple instruction like, okay, class, get 1/4. What do students say or reply? 1/4, ma'am. So you would really get that reaction to the teacher from the teacher that she's kind of annoyed. Yes, 1/4 class. Okay. So what should be the attitude that you will have to practice when there is a communication breakdown? It matters too. How can you relate your knowledge on the barriers to communication and its application to your life? Okay, you give a concrete example. So yes, it could be in your classroom discussion, or it could be something like your parents ask you something about, and how did you deal with it? Okay, so you can share your answer through sending or commenting your message, uh, or you can submit to me your essay. Uh, Excuse me. Okay, so from the lesson, from the barriers to communication, so it is a very short quiz. Okay, just checking your understanding. Okay, so where do these situations belong? Okay, so what barrier are these situations? So choose your answers as to physiological, environmental, psychological, social, cultural, and semantic. I'm pretty sure you will get a perfect score. I hope I explained it well to you. Okay, when you're done answering those 8 items, I recommend you to watch this video. I hope you will have the link to it, but if none, so it's not a problem also. Okay. So from this video that you will be watching, I'd like you to identify the communication barrier shown in the video. So you explain how this barrier cause communication breakdown. You can submit your work, yes, in our Google Classroom. Okay. So for more questions, again, please don't hesitate to just send me a message. And that would be all for today. Yes, keep safe always. Okay, thank you. Have a great day.